Are you wondering what crochet hook is the fastest, the smoothest, the best for 2026 and onward? Well, in this video, I'm test driving 24 crochet hooks with a speed test to find out which one is the fastest. And yes, by fastest, the most glide, the smoothest, the easiest to crochet with, the less drop stitches missing, less fumbles going along. So we are test driving all of these crochet hooks. How I'm doing it is I am crocheting 4 rows across in double crochets, 4 rows, and I'm filming the whole thing, and then while I'm editing or in editing software, you can put an in and an out for that exact time for when I start wrapping the yarn for that first stitch until I take the hook out of that last stitch. So that is exactly how many split seconds it's going to be per hook, and we're just going to do that all the way through. I did it with all the hooks, but in the beginning, I didn't quite have that figured out yet. So there is a crochet hook that I only do 2 rows with, but rest assured, I went back after and I forced myself to do 4 rows with that hook. You'll find out which one is the dud in the video. And shocking and surprising results. So make sure you stay tuned to the end where I will rank them all out 1 to 24. It might be 25, but you get what I mean. So let's start with hook number 1. This is the cheapest one. This is the 75-cent crochet hook. I have to say it is working. The only thing I notice different is I can hear there's more of a sound when it comes through the stitch. If you have been crocheting for a while, you're going to know what I mean. You can kind of hear your stitches, and it is a more pronounced, like this part is more chunky. I wish you could hear it, but it feels like it goes chunk and then chunk. It feels like a bit chunky when it comes out. See how it stops and then it goes through. That being said, this handle is substantial. It feels good. And for 75 cents, I mean, we can't really complain. So this is my last row of this first hook. It's just a bit clunky coming through those stitches, but for the price, we're not even, that's absolutely an acceptable trait. I'm going to just pop a stitch marker into the last stitch, just the side of it right there. And I'm going to do that after my last row of each type. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of double crochet with the first crochet hook. And I'm just going to switch to the next crochet hook. I have them all in envelopes. There's our number 2 hook. And now I'm just going to crochet. Ooh, this is already sticky. Okay, this is not this is not as great. This plastic sticks to the yarn. Isn't that fun? This might be rough. Maybe it warms up. Okay, well, I'm going to do 5 rows of this hook. And, oh wow. I'll try to do 5 rows with this hook. And then I'll come back and give you my review. Okay, so I did 2 rows with that crochet hook. That's enough. The problem is, you see this grip, this green paint here is grippy, and it is down on the shaft. So when you put your yarn up onto your shaft, it goes onto this grippy part, and then it doesn't come off. So you can try to like grip up here so that there's something to stop the yarn from going up, but the thumb rest is down here. Even if you are pencil gripping, there's still grippy paint where your yarn is supposed to be slidey. I hope the bigger hooks aren't like that. This is catastrophic, officially worst hook I've ever used. So this is bad. This is bad. I will try a bigger hook in this series. I think the big hooks, I'm going to have to check the big hooks. Right now, I'm saying this is just horrible. So I'm popping a stitch marker into that stitch. Done with hook number 2 and moving on to hook number 3. Oh, a Prym. I'm optimistic. Let's see how Prym goes. Already better. This shaft feels really long, Like it feels like it's really far away from where I'm used to crocheting, which is a Clover hook. I have a 6. Yeah, you can see where I'm used to holding my hook is way up here. So it's a different experience. It's not bad. It works. It's going into the stitches. It's a bit pointy. That's all right. It is pointier than what I'm used to also. I think this point is good. This point might be a bit pointy. Depends on how you like to crochet. Anyway, this is my first row. Obviously so much better than the last hook. It's very slidey. The yarn is, I can push it up as far as I want on the hook. It is farther away than I'm used to. That's fine. I'm liking it. It does feel a little bit rough in my palm. There's something, oh, is it this thing? There is an impression here where they've stamped in the information, but this around the edge, you can feel that ridge. And I'm feeling that on my palm. Not the end of the world, but definitely something to note. And this is also a 7mm. It's bigger, so these stitches are going to be bigger, but that's okay. I have to say I'm enjoying this hook. I'm enjoying a longer shaft. I find it's nice. It feels nice. That scratchy thing in my palm, I'm not a fan. If I was going to keep these hooks, or these were the only hooks I had, I would just put some of that fabric medical tape on the bottom of my hook so that edge wouldn't bug me so much. Yeah, I liked it. The only thing about this hook I didn't like is this stamp right there. But that was a nice experience. So next hook. Ooh, the other Prym. I love that. So this is very similar to what I am used to. Let's see. Not that what I'm used to is good. I'm just saying it feels very tiny. Okay, hold on. What I find is I don't have a knife like this, so this is like really tiny. It also feels really short. It sits in my hand. Okay, well, let me crochet with it for a bit. Let's see if I can get used to it. There's no thumb rest at all, and it is not squishy either. It's not smooth plastic. Like, it has some grip to it, but it is not, you can't push your thumb in and like find a spot. It is smooth. There's nothing stopping the yarn other than me not turning the hook correctly. I'm not turning it enough, or I'm turning it too much. I guess I'm spoiled with a thumb rest. Okay, well, I'll be back after I do a couple more rows. So I've gotten back with this little Prym. I think it's difficult, or the difficult part about it is not knowing, it doesn't have that thumb rest. You're not, like, every time you pick it up, you need to it feels like you need to rotate it a different amount because your thumb's not in the same spot as it was before. So sometimes you pick it up and it goes through the stitches really smooth, and sometimes you pick it up and you have to turn extra or turn less to get it to come back through smoothly. I'm going to pop a stitch marker into that stitch and grab the next hook. Ooh, nice. Hook number 5 is a 6.5, so it's a little bit of a different size. And this is the Cooplay. I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong. Let's see how this one goes. Gotta say the hook is working. It feels weird having my hand, like my thumb, off of the handle. I think this is the first hook I've used where it has a handle, but my thumb doesn't get the handle. It's working though. It's working better than the Prym. And I think the price is a lot different. But we'll compare all that later. But this is good. I'm going to crochet with this for a few rounds and tell you what I think about it. The yarn is not, it's staying on the hook. It's not like flying off. So it's not like super, super slick, but it's also not grippy. I'd say it's not terrible. The handle doesn't bother me. There's nothing in my hand that's aggravating. It sits kind of down there, but it doesn't bother me. It's smooth everywhere, so that's all right. Okay, well, I'll crochet with it for a little bit and I will get back to you. Okay, so that is the Cooplay. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind it a bit. I think it helps having like cute little flowers. I thought it was cute. I didn't see the flowers. I didn't see the cuteness when I was crocheting. You just see the shaft, but the shaft is still pretty. It did totally work. That is a functioning crochet hook. So now number 6, it is another Cooplay, and it is also the same size. It's a 6.5. This you can at least see the pretty handle as you're crocheting. I wonder how it's going to be because there's no actual thumb rest. Easier than the Prym. The soft grip Prym. This is easier for it, even though it doesn't have a thumb rest. Maybe because it's bigger. It's definitely working as a crochet hook. It's not the fastest. The metal on the shaft is shiny, which is fine. It's not snagging the yarn, but it's also holding the yarn. So if you had, like if you find that your stitches fall off your hook or your stitch falls off your hook, your loop, this metal is much slower than the Clover, but obviously price is a factor. And this is working as a crochet hook. And it's working as a crochet hook without a grip, without a thumb rest. So that's interesting. Okay, so there is my Cooplay. What I did find is my thumb, it doesn't feel numb, but from holding this hook, those ridges, it feels a bit numb. Not numb, but like it has weird sensation on it. So as much as it looks cute, I think that texture would make me go crazy over time, or make my thumb feel weird. Or you can get used to it. I mean, it's really cute. It depends how much you crochet. It's a cute hook. But my thumb does feel, it feels like it should have ridges on it. Which it doesn't, but it feels like it should. Yeah, my thumb feels strange. Number 7. Oh, this is going to be a treat. The Boye 6.5. So we have a whole bunch of 6.5s in here. Already it feels nice on my thumb just to not have those coils. Oh, the shaft feels very slow. It feels grippy, which is good if you want to crochet slowly. Maybe it wears off. I'll crochet with this one for 4 rows. Well, I'm on my last row with this Boye hook, the ergonomic soft grip Boye, and it's comfortable. The size is nice. It's a big enough hook where you have control over it. It does hold the yarn on the shaft. So if you are new to crochet and you find that your yarn is slipping all over the place, this might be a good hook set for you. The yarn does stay on the hook, like on this shaft part. See, it's even staying up here. It doesn't all slide down. You have to actually go and get it. So that was interesting. It makes nice stitches because you're going so slow. Well, not that slow, but you know what I mean. So that was the Boye. It does also have that embossed Boye on the thumb rest, which I wish it had maybe on the other side so it wasn't right underneath my thumb. I think I'm sensitive now to things underneath my thumb. But the size of it was good. The shape in my hand was good. It feels like a hook that you have a lot of control over. So for control, this hook is really good, really top marks. Oh, number 8 is the Boye aluminum hook. I'm waiting to try this one. It's exciting. So we'll start this and see how this goes. Again, I can feel that embossed information underneath my thumb. It's not the end of the world. The crochet hook's also long enough. It's coming out the bottom of my hand down here, so it's not bothering my palm. It's working pretty great. Well, let me keep crocheting with this for 4 rows, and I will tell you what I find, if I find anything. So this is the last row of the Boye metal hook. It feels like a slow hook. It feels like the yarn is held on the shaft. It's not very slippery, which is a good thing if you're new to crochet and you find your yarn is like falling all over the place. So you have to go kind of slow, I guess. I didn't love it, but it worked. I just felt that this this shaft here holds the yarn a bit more than I'm used to. And of course, the imprint on the thumb rest, although it was nice to have a thumb rest. So that was number 8. Number 9 is the Susan Bates. This is another 6.5. And this one is inline. I think it's our first inline hook of the test. It is working a treat. The shaft feels a lot faster than the Boye. It feels more slippery. It's not like the yarn's not dragging off of it the same way. I'm enjoying this actually. It goes into the stitch, it comes out of the stitch, it doesn't split. This hook is working pretty great. I don't notice the imprint on my thumb as much, unless my thumb's going numb, but I don't think it's as raised. I'm gonna have to say I really like this hook. This hook is my new best friend right here. This is feeling like a really good hook. It's going into the stitches really nice, and it's bringing the yarn and it's not catching anything. Like I can take off the yarn without it getting snagged on anything. I'll do the 4 rows and we'll see. I also feel like it was pretty quick. So that is the Susan Bates. I'm going to miss you. That was good. This is a brand new Clover. I love it. Let's see if I still love it after. Yeah, I still love it. This is my sweet spot. So we all know I love a Clover. I don't have to go on about it. It's nice and fat. It does everything you need a crochet hook to do. Other than it feels a little bit short in my hand. It does feel like it ends right there. So if anything could be better, I guess, it's having that handle not in the palm of my hand. But let me do 4 rows with this and then we'll move on to the next hook. So at the end of the 4 rows with the Clover, I love it. It's still a very solid hook. It even feels nice when it's new. It feels grippier. The thumb rest feels grippier than it does after you've used it for a while. Now I have gone from a 6.5 down to a 6. So it is, you know, a little more narrow again. But that's all right. Clover, solid hook. We know I love it. Ooh, I'm excited about this. This is the next hook. This is the 7 Sun crochet hook. This is a 6.5. So we're going back up. Ooh, it is slippery. I can see why people love it. Let's see. The handle also feels slippery, like the wood handle feels slippery. The shaft is also holding the yarn, to be honest. It's not as slippery as a Clover for sure, but the handle is also slippery, which I guess, well, it's just different. I like how this is crocheting. It feels like a really nice hook is what it feels like. the hook part is working a treat. And I'm not noticing any splitting or like difficulty coming back through my stitches. It just feels solid. I'm definitely liking this. The handle being so smooth is a bit weird. It feels like my thumb could move around. It feels nice in my palm though. Like the wood feels nice. Down in here, that all feels good. This part feels a bit slippery. So this is my last row with the 7th sun. And I'm really enjoying it. It feels smooth. It's reminding me of a tulip, which I forgot to put in this yarn hook talk. So I'm gonna, after this one, I'm gonna go grab a tulip and we're gonna tulip for 4 rows. It feels, I think the thumb rest reminds me of a tulip, and also the speed, the shaft reminds me of a tulip. So there is 7 sun in a 6.5 millimeter. I think I only have a 6 in tulip, but let me go and grab one. Yeah, there's a little tulip. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I really, whatever hook this is at the tip there, that was really working for crochet. So let me pop that one back and then use a tulip. I'll have to add this to the cards, to these cards, because it's not in there. So this is now hook number 12. I have to bump everything else up. It does feel the same, except this grip hold, like my thumb doesn't move around on the grip. The yarn also stays on the shaft, very much like the 7 sun. So I guess this is in between a clover and a 7 sun. Well, I guess the size of the shaft, the length of it, is very similar to the clover, where the 7 sun is much longer. But this thumb rest is very much like the 7 sun. And same with the grip on the shaft. So the yarn, I think you have nice control of your yarn with a tulip. So this is the last row with the tulip. It's a solid hook. I don't use them much just because the shaft, I prefer the clover because it is more slippery. It feels like I can go faster with a clover, although I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going just as fast with this hook. We'll find out. But it's a solid hook. Tulip is a good choice. Okay, so there is the tulip. Now we're going on to the WeCrochet in a 6 milli. It feels nice. It feels nice and long. It's not cutting into my palm. It's like way off the edge, which I think is nice. It's grippy, like my thumb's not moving around on the rest, the thumb rest. The shaft doesn't feel slippery, but it also doesn't feel grippy. It's just in the middle. So not as grippy as those Boye hooks. Those Boye hooks were super grippy. The handle feels nice. I really like the length of this hook. I like that it is long enough to not bug my palm. So this is my last row of the WeCrochet, and it's a solid hook. It's working. It's not slowing me down. It's not speeding me up. It's just a nice hook. I really like the length of it. I did notice a little something in my palm, and I think there is impressions down here where it's stamped. You can kind of feel that a little bit in the palm, but I'd rather have that and not have a sticker. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. It doesn't bother me that much. So that was the WeCrochet. I enjoyed it. I'd use it again. Next, ooh, MindfulKnits. This is gonna be exciting. So this is an inline
hook. Let's see. An inline and a streamline. So it's a bit awkward to get used to, I guess. Maybe just because there's no specific spot to mark where my thumb would be. I also feel it's a little clunky getting out of those stitches. But I might get better at it as I keep working. Okay, I'm on my second row and I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I still feel it's a little bit draggy getting through the stitches. So here's my last row with the MindfulKnits. It's a nice hook. It's nice and light in my hand, and it feels good in my palm. I just find it a bit draggy getting out of the stitches, a bit clunky. But I'm also, I like the pointy bit. I mean, the pointy bit's working. But just bringing it back, see how it gets stuck a minute? And it could be because I'm just not turning the hook enough. I mean, it obviously makes nice stitches, and it's a beautiful hook. Would I use it? Probably not, just because it felt a bit clunky bringing it back through. Ooh, number 15. That's exciting. So it's a taper. Okay, the shaft is holding the yarn, so it's not a slippery shaft, if that's what you like. But I do like the whole crochet hook as a thumb rest, or the whole side as a thumb rest. I can feel a little something in the palm of my hand just from that ridge, because it's super flat on one side and rounded on one side. Okay, so there's my last stitch. I noticed as I'm crocheting with it, and you're turning it in your hand, this little edge here, it's an edge, and it can kind of dig into your hand. It doesn't, well, not necessarily dig, but you can notice it. So I wonder if I was crocheting like a whole blanket with this hook, if that would bother me. Like for a few projects, I think it would be great. I wonder how it would be for like a longer project. I do like that you can see that 6 milli and you don't feel it underneath your thumb. I mean, I really do like that. My only thought is maybe this could bother me later. See how it's like super flat? Oh, I can probably show you here. Move this out of the way. There, can you see how it's super flat? Like flat. That is super flat. So something to think about. But I mean, it did crochet really well. The hook was great. You can put the yarn, like you don't have to slide, or you don't have to watch where you slide your yarn. Your yarn's automatic. So that part, I enjoyed it. Plus, I think it's really pretty. So points for pretty for this one. Now, number 16, Nice Met. Let's see. So this is BS Hooker with the acrylic handle and the nice packaging. It feels long and it doesn't feel like there's anything that's going to be bugging my hand. Oh, and it's inline. That's going to be exciting. Okay, let's see how it goes. And again, it doesn't have a thumb rest, but somehow it's working easier for me. So that's interesting. I'd have to say this is an enjoyable experience. It might not be the fastest just because I'm getting used to it. I'm not used to the inline hooks. but it is doing its job, and the handle feels really nice in my hand. It feels cool and smooth. And I like that the shaft is like a different color than usual. You know, the Clovers are always silver. This is going great. So far this is my favorite hook that doesn't have a thumb rest. It's really working. It snags a bit coming out, but I think that's because of how I'm crocheting and it doesn't have a thumb rest. So my thumb can be in a slightly different spot sometimes, but I think it's working pretty good. So I'll keep crocheting for another couple rows and then we'll discuss. So this is my last row with this hook, and I have to say I'm enjoying it. I really like how long the handle is, and I like how it feels in my hand. Like, that was fun to do. So that one I liked. Oh, I gotta put it back in the box. Plus points for packaging. Next is the Furls. Not points for packaging, but points for pretty. That is a pretty hook. So I'm excited to use this. Let's see. It feels cold, as it should. It's metal. Oh, it has a sound. You can hear the sound. I didn't notice that sound with the other hooks. It has a nice weight to it. It's heavy. It's crocheting just great. Ooh. It's not bothering my palm. Like, there's literally nothing in my palm that is bothering me. Nothing under my thumb. Again, no thumb rest, but it is working like a treat. And it's really pretty. I think the only difference would be the sound. It's noisier, but it's flying along. The finish, it really feels fast. It feels like a fast finish. Like on the hook, it feels like a Clover finish. It is speedy for sure. So here's my last row. I'm enjoying it. I would actually consider this crochet hook. I think it might be the best of both worlds because it has that fast glide finish like a Clover does on the shaft, but it's prettier. It's definitely a nicer hook to look at. And there is something to be said for pretty. It is heavier by miles, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it feels nice in the hand. It's definitely crocheting like a crochet hook should. And it makes pretty stitches. And it's pretty to look at. Right, so that is the Furls Streamline. Impressed. Packaging, no. That does not feel like an expensive hook, but it's all right. Now our last crochet hook is another BS hooker. Where's the spot? There it is. It is all metal. Well, I'm excited. Let's try this guy. We'll see if it's as loud. Can you hear it? Not as loud, right? I mean, I think I can hear my nails kind of clinking into it, or it clinking into my nails, or the stitch marker when I was starting out, but it's not loud on the yarn. It's also working great. It feels nice in my hand. It's nice and cold. I think this might be great for cold weather, for hot weather. You can just grab a crochet hook and it would be like a cooler experience. It does feel bigger, because I think it is bigger. It feels longer. I feel like there's more crochet hook swinging in the palm of my hand, and you can see it definitely comes off of my hand. I like the style. I like how it feels in my hand. The weight of it, you can kind of almost swing the crochet hook to help you crochet a bit faster. It like gets your hook up or down. It feels like, anyway. you're gonna just kind of throw it around. See how it's going in my hand, like almost like a pendulum. I'm enjoying it. I think the finish on the furls was faster as a crochet hook, but I guess we'll have to compare the times. And this doesn't feel as fast, to be honest. But it feels great in my hand. Okay. That was quite fun. I enjoyed it. Crazy to compare it to a furls. The furls was also a really nice experience that I think you'd have to get down into price and maybe packaging. But that was also a really nice crochet hook. I would use it again.
So those were the Amazon hooks. Have you tried any of those? Now we're moving on to the AliExpress.
Here is our first hook from our AliExpress haul. It's an inline, super cheap crochet hook set. So I'm just going to be using the 6mm, and we'll see how it goes. It's working, surprisingly. I was not expecting this crochet hook to even work, especially because it's inline, and I'm not that great with inline. Not terrible. The price is definitely right. I feel it's catching a bit, but that's probably just because it's inline. It's not horrible. For a budget hook, it's definitely crocheting, which is shocking. It has a bit of a clunk to it, but it's performing. So this is my last row with this cheap little hook, and I have to say it's not really slowing me down. It's a little bit chunky, like clunky. I can feel it dragging through each stitch twice because it's a double crochet, but it's not a horrible hook. I would throw these in my car for emergencies. It's definitely, it's working as a crochet hook. It has a little bit of texture on the sides of the handle, some little bumps. I didn't mind it. It doesn't bother my palm. It was just the clunkiness of it. But what is it, 34 cents or something silly like that? Really can't complain. That is a really decent crochet hook for the price. Would I use it in an emergency? Yes. If I was camping, I needed a crochet hook, didn't bring it. If I needed a plastic hook and security at the airport might take my crochet hook, yeah, I'd definitely take it. It's cheap and it definitely worked. 19 is this set of crochet hooks. These also worked out to be ridiculously cheap. I think they're supposed to look like a tulip. Let's try. Well, it feels slow, but I'll put the time up on the screen. It feels fat. It feels clunky. I'm not a fan of the handle. It just feels like there's just too much. It's like holding a tire or crocheting with a tire. I also feel like I have to drag it back through the stitches. It works. It doesn't feel luxurious. If I was doing cheap hooks, this would not be my cheap hook of choice. Let me keep going, and I'll meet you back when I have developed more of an opinion about this cheap knockoff hook. So this is the last row of this hook, and I couldn't be happier that it's the end of working with it. I feel like I have to go wash my hand, like I don't feel clean, I don't feel nice. I'm dragging it through these stitches. I feel like my crochet is really tight. It's clunky. I don't know, it's like crocheting with a spare tire, literally. But I got to the end, but you can see how stressed out I was. See how I've gotten so much skinnier because I'm just pulling it all the time. I'm pulling it. So I don't like that one. That's a solid, not going to see you again. Well, I might see you again, but not to be used. Next, we have our another knockoff set to the red ones. I hope they might be the exact same. Oh, I just put it away. They might be the exact same, but red. I really hope not. But yes, I think they're the exact same, but in red. I'm going to give it a try. Already struggling. I think it's the shaft is better, but the shape of the head is not great. I'm not excited about it. I won't be using this hook again either. The shaft feels better, but the hook shape is just not the best. It's a bit catchy. I'm going to try and relax while using this hook, but it's stressing me out. Almost done with this hook. Couldn't be happier to be done with it. I feel like it's a struggle. I also feel that people that say, oh, I'm new to crochet and I'm a really tight crocheter, it might just be the hook. Because this is a fight. I mean, it's working. It works as a crochet hook. Is it a pleasant experience? No. And you can see I'm continually just shrinking it down. Now, I don't want to say good hook, but the last good hook I used, we had some, I think this is Furls here, and this is Next Met. And then look, when you get to the lousier hooks, it really shrinks in. So I'm blaming the hook, 100%. Happy to put it away. Not recommend. Oh, but we can compare it to the good one. Here is the tulip. Now this is exciting. So decent packaging, cute, proper handle, looks cute. I do have my other tulip here, my 5 milli. So the handle looks exactly the same. It's just the finish on the hook that's different. That's all right. Please be good. Please, please, please. Okay, let's go. Ooh, already slippy. Look at that. Maybe they did the Clover Teflon finish. I'd be very excited if they did. The only reason I don't use tulips, ooh, that's very slippy dippy, is because I find them slower than a Clover. Ooh, look at this. I can see this working nicely. Tulips hold the yarn on the shaft longer than a Clover, which does not hold the yarn at all. So if you're new to a Clover crochet hook, you can just be pulling, like the yarn can be falling off your hook because it's just that fast. This is lovely. I don't have to fight to get it through the stitches. The handle is, of course, a tulip handle. It's good. I already know it's going to be faster. Okay, let me finish up these 4 rows and let you know what I think. Oh my gosh, is this the end? This was so nice. This was quick. If you like a tulip, get a tulip red. It was really fast. Like I thought I had 2 more rows to do, and I don't. I have 1 stitch to do. There we go. So that was an enjoyable experience. That was a decent hook. If you like red, if you like tulip, this is definitely a sweet spot for tulip. I do have the lilac one also to try. So here is the tulip, the purple one. Let's see how that is. It feels slower. It feels like a tulip. It does not feel as fast as the red, but then I don't know. I'm just crocheting with it, and I don't know the time until I take this footage for editing, because that's where you can really see exactly how long you are crocheting for without having to press start or stop on a stopwatch. But it feels like it's holding the yarn on the shaft longer. It of course goes through the stitches perfectly and performs great as a hook. The rest is nice. It's very comfortable. It just doesn't feel as fast. But it's also gorgeous. So there's pretty points for this crochet hook. So this is the last row of the purple or the lilac colored tulip. It worked. It didn't feel like an improvement on the original tulip. It felt like a tulip, but it of course works as a crochet hook. It feels great. It works. It's lovely. I would prefer the red for a tulip hook. This is a 6. It's a JinLan with the pink plastic handle. There we go. Kind of like opening up a toothbrush. Oh, it feels nice. So the handle is very similar. It's a little bit broader for the thumb rest and a little bit wider at the base as well. Plus the size is stamped in instead of a sticker on top, and it is pointier and taller for the shaft. So let's try the JinLan 6 milli. The shape of the head, or the shape of the tip of the hook, is really good for getting into the stitches. It just feels like it finds its way through in a heartbeat. It holds the yarn. It doesn't feel fast. It feels like it's holding the yarn on the hook, similar to a tulip, but it has a nice weight to it. What I have noticed about JinLan is they are really good at half double crochets. You know, with some crochet hooks, even Clover, when you're taking off all 3 loops at a time, it can get a little bit stuck. You kind of have to take off the first 2 and then take off the last one. And with a JinLan, they are just built for taking off those stitches. So this is my last row. It's feeling good. It's also feeling like the shaft is holding the yarn to make my stitches smaller, but not in a bad way, like in a pretty way. Oops. So like if I was going to make lace or something like that, where you really want that stitch definition, I think a JinLan would be the way to go. Look at the difference in my stitches. Like really pretty. Compared to a tulip. Look how tinier they are. Now we'll see with the time if I was slower. But that is definitely a difference of stitches. So if you have loose tension, this, I don't know what they call it, but the plastic handled JinLan might shrink you right up to being, to have a great gauge. I enjoyed using it. I'm surprised my stitches are like that tiny. Next we have a 6 millimeter. So this is the sandalwood, the blood sandalwood JinLan. Oh, we've already did this one, didn't we? This one doesn't count. We already did it down below. But I'm going to do it here again just to see how it compares to the resin handle one. I know the shaft is longer. It already feels faster and looser. Feels loose as a goose. Not in a bad way, just in like a controlled, relaxed way. So let me just see how this hook is. I just want to see those 4 rows side by side, because it's the same crochet hook company and it's the same size hook, but I think they're going to crochet very differently. So here's my last row. I really enjoy this hook. It feels really nice. It feels like a lovely crochet hook. You know, like the steering wheel on a nice car, it feels like a steering wheel on a nice car. There. So we have our 2 rows of the plastic or the rubber coated hook, which is tighter than this wooden hook. The wooden hook has gotten us right back out to where we wanted to be. So that is the Blood Sandalwood JinLan. Now, the JinLan Green Sandalwood. I'm excited about this. I've been waiting. I love this hook. I love feeling it. I've never crocheted with it, but I love how it feels. So let's give it a go. A little slow to start. So this is my last row. And I do enjoy it. It feels grippier. It feels more like the resin handle one. Now the last hook we have is also a JinLan, but it's a 4mm. So I'm not going to use it for the speed test because it's the wrong size to do the testing. But it's beautiful. This is the different colored wood, but 4mm. So skipping that. So now we've crocheted, let me pop a stitch marker into that guy. We crocheted with all of those crochet hooks. They all worked as crochet. I think only one was an absolute failure. Right? This guy down here, that one was hard to use. But they all worked. Have you used these hooks? Let me know your opinion in the comments. And that was very enlightening.
Which of these beauties is your favorite? Do you use any of these on a daily? Let us know in the comments. And if you have any tips or tricks for getting some of these hooks to work better, if they didn't work great for me, what is your tip or trick for working with it? What makes it your favorite? What did I miss out on, or what did I not do with that hook? Let me know in the comments. And I cannot wait to crochet with these hooks. Which one are you going to pick up first? Such a dilemma, right? It's like a bevy. Also, storage. I just want to look at them. I might get a glass canister. I'm looking at a glass canister with my pickled brain in it. Crocheted pickled brain. I think I need one of those canisters just for my crochet hooks. I feel like it's art. I need a slightly smaller canister. I'm going canister shopping right after this. Okay, stay hooked. Oh, did I mention I got a new camera? It's not tracking me. It's not tracking me. It's supposed to track 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 me. Maybe it doesn't track. I'm doing nighttime. Okay, it's also like daytime, but I didn't turn on any lights. So I'm using nighttime mode on this little new camera. I don't need lights. You do not, unbelievable how technology has improved. You basically need no gear to create content anymore. You just need a little camera and look at this. Although if it was in the other way, it would track me. Okay, let me try to figure it out. There we go. Cool, right? So like, look what I can do. I can crouch around the Yarnery like a weirdo. Anyway, isn't that fun? I can't wait. I want to go like take Rico around walking. It's so great. Anyway, this is what I'm up to this week. Look how good the yarn looks. Okay, I'm super excited. Stay hooked.